Good morning. Okay, so this is kind of like the last video. Oh, scary. Now, I don't actually even know how many of you are going to be looking back at Google Classroom, because for some of you, you're like, peace out, gone. But for those of you who are, there's one last assignment, and it's not an actual assignment. It's just feedback. It's your opinion, okay? So you guys are the big bad seniors. You guys are the ones who've been the most affected. First of all, I'd like to apologize for all of the terribleness that has struck your senior year. So for those of you who are spring sport athletes, man, colossally bummer. No, what a bummer. For those of you, the people who were involved in the play, I don't know if everybody's aware, but the play got shut down on March 13th, which was the last day we were all in school together. That afternoon, we found out that we weren't going to do it, and that was before they did the mandated, everything was shut down. So we were 1 week away. So for the people who are involved with the play, maybe give them, talk to them and be like, hey, how you doing? Because that was pretty rough to get 1 week out and then for it to be closed off, for it to be shut down. And then those of you who were looking forward to prom, you already bought the dress. Oh, what a bummer. Graduation. Now, I don't know if you guys love it so much, but I am so proud of our school and what we did, and that you guys were all able to get those pictures, make that memory. Man, it is not ideal. It is not the regular way, but you were able to get it done. Why don't you send maybe an email to Mr. Bagando at some point if you want to, and just tell him that you appreciate it. You know what? It's really funny. Nobody ever tells people when you do something right. Most of the time, you never hear about it. It's so funny. We as human beings, we will rant and we will rave. We will send an email so quickly when people are screwing up all over the place. But whenever somebody does something right, we're just like, yep, that's what should have happened. And we're done. We don't send the positive emails. We don't give the positive feedback. So throwing it out there, that would be okay. So I have shared a document with you, and I want you to give me feedback. It's for classroom time, so think the first two questions are about class, back when we were in class, what worked, what didn't, and then with remote learning, what worked and what didn't, what was super effective. And for you guys, listen, you guys were the ones that were just blown away by this whole last quarter. So I really want you to kind of dig deep and think about what helped you stay motivated, what helped you keep trucking along, doing the things you're supposed to do. By the way, I would like to say, what you do when no one is around, when no one's looking, when no one's there to push you and prod you along, when no one's there to help you, what you do during those moments, that's what really shows like your character. And so I'm so proud of each of you that persevered and just kept working so hard to get your assignments done. And here's the thing, it's high school. You have 6 different teachers giving you assignments. And some people were giving you a ton of work. And sometimes you had things like dual credit classes where they couldn't pull back on what they were sharing with you because you have to be at a certain level to get that college credit. And you guys just kept pressing on. So I admire you so much for your perseverance and just getting through these last few weeks. And it's been daunting. I have felt it too. I'm in my grad class, and there were definitely times where I had trouble doing my work in the same space where I usually chill, or I'm usually having downtime with my family and enjoying things. I struggled, and I am 45 years old, almost 46. If I'm struggling, of course you guys are. So what you got done, I'm so proud of you. Even those of you who've turned in the research paper right here at the end, man, I admire that so much. You are so strong. So just know that, and don't feel bad. Just get the things done and keep pressing on. And sometimes there's something going on that maybe prevents us from being as excellent as we can be. Just make it through, and then try to get that excellent bar back up and do your best. That's all we can do any given day. Just try to do our best and move on. Okay, so I want you to fill out that paper, give me feedback that will help me make the classes even better. And I really want the feedback on remote learning. If there's a teacher who was doing something and it really worked for you, and maybe we weren't doing that, because each of we individual teachers had to wrap our mind around how are we teaching in our house, which is weird. So that was a hard job, and I would say we all approached it in different ways. And so if there was something that was super effective or beneficial for you, let me in on that. It just helps me understand your type of learning better, and maybe I can make some changes for next year. I don't know how much of this we'll be doing next year. I'm kind of concerned. So be concerned. And those of you who are going off to college, it's very possible you're going to start college, you know, on your couch, and it won't be, I mean, I'm hoping the colleges open up, but I'm just not sure it's possible. And so, you know, good luck to wherever you're going. By the way, we didn't get to have those conversations at the end. I would love to hear from you and know where you're going to school, what you're going to be studying. Feel free. There's like a fifth question that's like, hey, anything else? Is there anything that, you know, I didn't ask you about in those questions above? Feel free to tell me what your plans are for the future, because we didn't get to have that conversation in class. I would have been asking that the last few days. I would have been like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? So just know that, man, I would love to hear from you. If you ever have questions about, like, you know, you need a good book, please let me know if you ever need book recommendations, and you know I'm always ready for that. So email at any point. Also, so you guys are the seniors. You guys are the ones who are leaving. From this point on, our contact is up to you. So like for social media and things like that, I make a habit of not friend requesting my students, because I feel like that's a decision you guys get to make on your own. So if you want contact with a weird, crazy English teacher that, you know, was okay at times and annoying at others, feel free to friend request me on whatever, okay? But I'm not going to do that. I respect your privacy. And for some of you, you may be like, peace out, never listen to that lady again. She's crazy. And that's okay. You choose, man. But if you do want to stay in contact, if you do, I have former students all the time who are like, hey, I need a book recommendation on blah, blah, blah. Or they're just, so many students like have kids now, and they're married, and they're being really awesome things in real life, and their careers have started. And I get to see it, and it's so much fun. And I get to go, you know, I get to pray for them whenever something's going wrong in life, or maybe they've lost somebody. I get to see when their new babies are born, or when they make those announcements, the graduation announcements that have been coming out from the college graduates this year. Oh, it's been fun. And then the birth announcements. Oh my gosh. So anyway, so that is up to you, and you have the rights to your privacy, or if you want to be friends, you know, in social media world, that's awesome too. And you choose, okay? And I would be honored to be friends with any of you now on social media. So it's some of us are already friends, that's fine. But if we aren't, and you would like that, please go ahead, hit that friend request, okay? And otherwise, man, I wish you guys the best. I wish you so much success. I hope that, understand, you're 18. You don't have to have it all figured out. Like, I think sometimes we have this idea that you have to know what you're going to be when you grow up. Please remember, and I know I've told you this, but I didn't start my bachelor's degree until I was 25 years old. No, I think I was 26. It was the year I was 26. It was 2000. So I didn't start until I was 26 years old. I was a single mom at the time, and I was working as a bank teller, and I could not support myself and my child. So I started my bachelor's degree when I was 26 years old, and 3 years later I had it. And the 3 years later, whenever I was getting that degree, I actually had gotten married, and I was expecting Kent. I look like, you know, I don't know, like I'm huge in my graduation photos from college. But man, life, you don't have to have it figured out at 18. And sometimes you don't actually get to where you're going to be until a little bit later on. So if there are any of you who are like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but I'm grown up. It's okay. No pressure. Take those general courses in college. Try to look for the area where you're gifted. There were some things I always knew. I always knew that with this whole like reading and interpreting text, I had something that other people didn't have, and I noticed it throughout years of time, okay? So whenever I went to get that degree, I walked into the McKendree, you know, admittance office, and I was like, hey, I would like to get a bachelor's degree in teaching high school English, what I said. And they were like, huh, all right, we can do that. So they set me up with all the things I needed to do. Look for where you're gifted. What is the area where you just seem to have a spark that other people do not? Try to find that if you can in the next few years. Just look around, listen carefully when people are like, oh my gosh, you're so good at giving advice. Man, maybe you should be a counselor. Maybe you should go into, become a psychiatrist or something like that. If you're so good with science, you just understand things. Man, you don't even get grossed out when we're dissecting this and dissecting that. Maybe you need to go into nursing, or you need to go into the medical field in some way. Just think about, some of you feel your faith so strongly. Maybe ministry is a place for you. So just, think about all the different things and the areas where you are amazing. Find that area of gifting, because if you can make that thing that you're passionate about, that you love, if you can make that your job, work is going to be so easy for you all of your life. There is something in me that gets so excited whenever I think about teaching. When I think about sharing literature, sharing writing with young people, I get super excited. I get tired too, because the job's kind of heavy during the school year. Like, I don't have nights and weekends off like other people with other jobs, but I get summers, so that's a pretty good gig, right? But find that area where you love it, and then if you can make that your career, they say if you find something you love to do for your career, then you never work a day in your life. It's not a perfect statement, because I work a lot in life. But the thing is, when I'm doing things I love, it makes that work so much easier. And it's so much more rewarding whenever you're doing something that you're committed to, that you're passionate about, that you deeply love. So I hope for each of you that you find something like that. And man, I hope that you're not limited by things like gender roles and ideas about, remember, you're not compelled to do anything. You make choices. You choose who you get to be in a relationship with. You choose if you're going to be a parent one day. You get to choose what role you want to play. And that's whatever. If at some point, ladies, you end up being a homemaker and you are married to somebody who's going out there and they're making the money and stuff, that's awesome too. Man, homemakers, they are so organized. I don't even know how they do it. I would be crazy if I was at home all the time. Thank God it's usually only summer. So, like every single job it's important and it's respectable, and you've got to find what works for you. So do that, okay? Do that, and understand, at 18, I don't think any of us had it figured out, okay? So I'm wishing you all the best, all the luck in the world. I hope such great things for you. I can't wait to see your successes, hear about them. Man, you guys have your whole life ahead of you. And it's going to be amazing. Life's pretty good. Even during COVID-19, life's pretty good. Right, Daisy? Daisy says life is good. Bye. Thank you for being in my class this year. It was awesome.